Hey moms, welcome back to Raising Her Confidently. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to share 5 fresh ways you can help your teen or tween daughter feel confident in who she is as she grows. This season that you're in right now is delicate, but the truth really is that every small step that you take now is really planting a seed for her future confidence. Stay with me because I can't wait to walk you through these 5 powerful ways.
If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. You're listening to this because your heart is breaking from the changes that are happening in your girl that is affecting your connection with her. Your once cuddly, talkative little girl is now growing up, but with the cost of silence, emotional bouts, and you get the short end of the stick. You fear these disconnections and challenges you're facing right now is affecting your relationship with her. And what will the future hold between the two of you? How will you get through this season without losing the closeness you once had and so desperately want? Mama, I want you to know you are not alone. As lonely as it may feel and almost embarrassing to share with even your closest friends about this because you feel like you're failing at connecting with her, this is common. It's a season. However, I know that you don't want to sit idle during this time. So here it is. This is what I want to tell you, that you can do hard things. This is a season of hard, but you will get through it by equipping yourself with the right tools to turn this all around. I invite you to explore what could be possible for you. Head to talktoyourteengirl.com right now. I want you to join me and let's equip you together so that you can relate and reestablish your connection with your girl. That's talktoyourteengirl.com.
Okay, I know this is one thing that moms constantly are thinking about. It's how do I help my daughter build some confidence in herself? Because you see her uniqueness, you see how beautiful she is, and you want her to believe it for herself, right? So let's talk about how you can do that, instilling some confidence in who she is as she's growing. Like I mentioned, it really is a delicate season. And I know it because I've gone through it, you've gone through it, my daughter has gone through it, and research confirms it. The way she feels about herself now really shapes how she'll step into adulthood. So today I want to give you the 5 fresh steps you can support her, even as she navigates those up and downs that she will go through, mama, and she will. She's not going to avoid it in the teen years. Before we dive into the 5 ways, let's really acknowledge why this matters so much. Studies show that confidence in adolescence is really a cornerstone for future well-being, right? It matters for her mentally, emotionally, and even in her career path, whatever it may be, whether it's working as a doctor, whether it's starting her own business, whether it's pursuing her career in the arts, or maybe she's called to be home to raise your family. Whatever it may be, we need to make sure that she has the confidence in who she is doing what she's doing, right? What her path is. When our daughters believe in themselves, especially through this stormy in-between phase, they're going to more likely bounce back from setbacks. They're going to expect it, right? Because sometimes life is not always up and to the right? We're going to come across some bumpy roads, and how she sees herself will help her overcome them, right? She's going to form healthy relationships, and she's going to really thrive, right? She's going to see every obstacle as a way to grow because she has the confidence in her that she will get through them. So let's get practical. How we can do that as moms in this stage right now with her. You're probably thinking like, okay, so what can I do? What can I do to help her see who she really is, and really believe it in herself. Well, here's some 5 ways that you can help her, right? Guide her. First, it's really encourage some passion projects. Understand what she's really gifted, talented in, what she's interested in and worth giving a shot, even if she feels she doesn't have the skills or the natural talent, right? Whatever she sets her mind to, if she's interested in that, trying it is better than not trying at all, right? If you don't try, it's always going to be a no. If you try, it may be a no, but you never know, right? So encourage her passion projects. Help her explore interests that she has outside of school, whether it's a hobby, maybe it's a hobby you notice that she's starting to dabble into, maybe talk about it a little bit more, or take her to a store, or maybe order some things on Amazon, because things are just so easy to order on Amazon, that may help her kind of dive into that hobby a little bit more. Or maybe it's a small business idea. I remember when my daughter was about, I think 11 or 12, she's super entrepreneurial. I mean, I think at a young age, a lot of our kids are entrepreneurial. They want to play store. They want to try and sell things to their friends that they've created or had an idea and how they can make money out of it. My daughter had this, I guess it was semi-thriving because she did some sales. She created lip glosses. It was something fun for her. She enjoys, as a performer, a dance performer, she had to put stage makeup on. And so she enjoyed specifically lip glosses and the different colors it created on her lips. But she made it a passion, something that she enjoyed creating for herself and wanted to share it with other people, and had a small business for that. So, and it was a way for her to get creative. So whatever it may be for your daughter, and you're probably listening now as I'm talking, something that popped into your head, like, oh, she really does enjoy this, whether it be one of my daughter's friends who I happen to be a mentor for when they had a middle school group. She created ears for Disneyland, Mickey Mouse ears and different styles, and that became her business. When she experiences competency in something she loves, that really does build confidence. A second way you can guide her is simply modeling self-compassion. I know I've talked about this over and over again, but I want this to run deep with you, Mama. Self-compassion. How do you react when you come across an obstacle, or had made a mistake, or there's a hurdle, right, that you just can't get over? What do you do, right? Let her see you give yourself grace when you make a mistake, right? And that may be growing in us too, that maybe I would say, I'm speaking for myself, that how I react to my mistakes, do I really portray confidence, or do I really portray the insecurities I have? And believe me, Mama, it's taken me a while. I'm in my 50s, but I still have those moments where I question myself. Why am I being so insecure, right? Is it the lack of confidence, not one in myself, but one in my faith, that is driving me to feel this way, right? So modeling and giving yourself grace when you make mistakes is such a great way for her to see some self-compassion. And this shows her that confidence doesn't mean being perfect. It means being kind to yourself, right? Third way to guide her is celebrate the small wins. Don't wait for giant successes. Growing up, and I don't fault my mom for this, because I think it's one of those generational things that you just don't cheer people on. You criticize more than you cheer people on. But, she waited for the big things to celebrate and to kind of brag on to other family members, and didn't really consider the small wins. And I think that was something that I wish was fostered into my life. Celebrating those small wins matters. I didn't learn this until I became a teacher myself, and that celebrating small wins matters, whether it's recognizing an alphabet. I'm not expecting you to read a whole book. Of course, that's a great win, but recognizing a small alphabet. I taught first graders. is a great win. Or even just being kind to someone else. Thank you for cleaning up the desk even when I didn't ask you to. Those are the small wins. Translated to the teen stage. Hey, thanks for doing the dishes when you weren't asked to. Thanks, because that was very thoughtful, right? You're celebrating the action and the thought process and the heart behind it, because that will give her confidence. Don't wait for giant successes. Cheer for everyday victories, the little steps forward into doing something. Even whatever she does for herself, whether it's deciding to just apply for a position. We don't have to wait until she gets the job or the interview. It's celebrating the fact that she took the action to go and apply, because that is huge nowadays, especially. This builds a habit of recognizing her progress. Fourth way to guide her is create a safe space for her voice, right? Create a safe voice space and establish a regular time for this, maybe once a week, where she can share, vent, or just be, knowing you're there to listen without judgment, right? This could be a space where she does come in with an attitude and she plops on the couch and she just complains. And that's a good thing, Mama, when she does that. It's not for you to feel like you're walking in eggshells. It's a place where she knows she feels safe to even do that in the first place. And that brings so much value to your relationship, Mama. That is something to celebrate, not to feel insecure about, not to feel disrespected, not to feel like you can't say anything, but really just to sit there and listen, right? I've had to learn this and feel like not to take things personally when any of my kids came to me with an attitude, with a tone of upset, because I had to learn that it was what they were feeling and they weren't attacking me, that their emotions are not my responsibility. And it's taken me some time, and hopefully you can take, if anything, away from this episode, is that their emotions and feelings is not your responsibility. And when you can think of it that way, then it's easier not to take it so personally and easier not to feel like you're walking on eggshells, but to really celebrate the fact that they're able to do that because they feel safe. Okay. Now, you can listen to other episodes on how you can take that time and be, over time it will change, right? As they feel more and more safe and you're able to speak more and more into their life, their tone will start to change because they're starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, I can change it so I'm allowed to feel frustrated, but not attacking towards my mom, right? Okay, and then the fifth way to guide is to affirm her values. Gosh, this is so important because it's during a time where she's really trying to discover who she is. Everything that she's known till now is shaken because all of a sudden she's starting to recognize that she matters in this world, or maybe she's questioning whether or not she matters in this world. She starts to question all the things that she's grown up to believe because there are different ideologies, different values out there that she is discovering. And it's bumping up against the things that she knows about herself. So this is where you can affirm the values that you see in her, that you have instilled as a family, the core values that are within her as she figures out who she is. Keep naming the things you see in her. Maybe it's her faith, her kindness, her courage. These affirmations become anchors. They're simple reminders to bring her back to who she is and how she's uniquely created. Now, I know you might not always get the reactions you hope for, right? You might still have her stomping around. You might still have her looking at you with a blank stare or with an eye roll. Your daughter might not seem appreciative, or she might even push back, right? And even seem distant. But that's okay. This is part of her growth. She's testing boundaries. She's figuring out herself and who she is. So don't be discouraged during this time. They call it the tough season for a reason, right? It's turbulent. but it doesn't have to be for you, right? I don't want you to be discouraged. Every single time you do these things, mama, that doesn't, because she's having an attitude or because she's not responding to you in a way you hoped she would, that doesn't mean you stop doing these things, right? Because you're planting seeds. And in those quiet moments, when she's by herself, when she needs you most, she will remember. She'll remember this. She'll know you were steady, that you affirmed her, and that you gave her space to be exactly who she is. And that is the confidence builder she needs. Okay? So, mama, you don't have to have all the answers, right? And you don't have to be perfect at this. That's where the self-compassion comes from. Just keep showing up and be consistent, right? I know there are going to be those moments where you weren't having a good day and she's not having a good day and it's that perfect storm for conflict. Maybe this isn't the time to engage, right? You know yourself and you know when you can show up your best and you know when you can't, and that is okay. Give yourself that grace, right? Just be consistent in being loving and present for her on those times where you can, right? It's a work in progress for both of you. And you've got this, right? I can't wait to hear how these steps begin to unfold in your journey. You can reach me at my email. I promise I check them. And when I do get a message from one of you, it excites me to hear what's been going on in your life. And if you're not a part of our mom community, gosh, that's a great way to share how it's been going, or even to share some of the frustrations you might be going through right now, because I want you to know that you are not alone. And if you're not a part of our free Facebook mom community, I want you to go to raisingherconfidently.com, and there is a section where you can come and join. I'll see you there.
Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.